And Jennifer just left, but I wanted to point out to her, I tried to put out as few words as possible as I tell you this tale about the Kings Water Alliance and our outreach efforts. Just to follow up with the other management zones, I want to give you a sense of where we're located. We are in portions of Fresno and Kings and Tulare County. Our priority one areas include the Kings Subbasin and the Cahuilla Subbasin. Our major municipalities include Fresno, Clovis, Reedley, Dinuba, as well as Selma. So I'm going to tell you a tale about our outreach efforts that is going to involve mapping. I'm going to start here with this blank slate on the screen, and then I'm going to kind of do a layering approach as we move through the community, looking at both how we've outreached to priority one areas, as well as our severely disadvantaged communities and our disadvantaged communities. So where did we start? Great question. We started with the analysis that was completed in our preliminary management zone proposal, as well as updated our management zone implementation plan, our nitrate analysis. If you're looking at the map on the screen, the orange and red areas are those of potentially impacted by nitrates. So you can see there are quite a few areas in Dinuba, Reedley, Orange Cove, actually spread throughout our management zone. Approximately 5,800 potentially impacted wells, serving a population of approximately 82,000. We calculated it out at 45% of the domestic drinking water wells in our subbasin here are impacted by nitrates. So we're going to go through this layering approach. First thing that we're looking at in the maroon are the hatched areas of the severely disadvantaged communities, as well as the disadvantaged communities. But we also need to factor in where we have rural residential. These are the most urgent needs for drinking water solutions that we have in the area. So those are described, again, shown on the map in the maroon hatching, and the black areas on the map are those rural residential that are outside of the severely disadvantaged communities and DACs. But we need to make conscious that we're serving both of them. So what did we do in order to serve both of them? Well, we got out into the community. If you can take a look at the map here, you're looking at purple points that represent where in the community that we outreach to. Just to give you an overview of where we've outreached to and some of our numbers, in-person meetings hosted by KWA, we have approximately 10 of those, with over 200 in attendance. We held those in various locations such as Selma and Kerman, but we also did tabling events. We went to communities out there, and we saw earlier today where our tabling events, what our table looks like, advertising the services of the Kings Water Alliance. We went to resource fairs, school events, farmers markets, health events, over 112 community events and 15 communities with an approximate attendance of 12,000, 6,500 flyers distributed. We received over 150 well test forms and that were distributed, as well as over 75 applications. Food banks are another outreach effort that we undertake. 135 food banks were visited throughout the Kings Water Alliance boundary, totaling almost 14,000 flyers distributed, 35 well applications, over 100 well test applications at food banks. Also, we distributed flyers outside of the events that I previously mentioned. The flyer count that we distributed was approximately 24,000 in 46 communities, including college style, where you're able to tear off the information about the Kings Water Alliance. Additionally, we outreach to employers, packing houses, other dischargers in the management zone. We did approximately 20 facilities and distributed out over 1,000 flyers. So I added a couple other layers here so you can see that we continue to outreach not only to severely disadvantaged communities, but also all the rural residential. The purple circles that are on the screen represent digital flyer distribution, social media and targeted ads, email updates and website views, as well as local media, local news coverage on ABC affiliates, as well as Spanish radio. Just to name a few, our social media and targeted Google ads reached almost 1 million people. Our digital flyer distribution, we distributed it to 7 school districts, and we estimated the enrollment of 41,000 for those school districts. Last but not least, what I've added in the final layer here is mailing zip codes, partial or full mailing zip codes that received our flyers. English and Spanish, as well as tear-off postcards that included envelopes that were sent back to us. In total, we have sent out over 200,000 mailing postcards, tear-off postcards, and targeted mailers since 2021. What has that resulted in? That has resulted in approximately 2,700 applications submitted to date. This is March data. As you can see on the map, you can see the circles in brown. The applications that we have received are throughout our management zone. That has been as a result of our layered approach to our outreach efforts. To date, actually this week alone, we reached our 1,000th well test. If you look on the screen here, we have the results of many of the well tests that were performed. We are at an approximately 44% rate for nitrates above the safe drinking water standard. As you can see, again, these well tests have been performed throughout our management zone. And finally, not only are we providing bottled water, which are the dots that are in the blue-gray on the map, we also have 3 fill station locations that are available. To date, we are providing bottled water to over 550 residents, and bottled water and fill stations, we are providing daily anywhere from 60 to sometimes over 250 gallons per day to people at our fill stations in 3 locations, Kerman, Dinuba, and Hanford. As we move forward in our outreach, we are going to continue this layered effort of our outreach activities to our initial focus areas, focusing not only on what services we are offering for short-term bottled water or water solutions, but as well as long-term water solutions. That will again be focusing on mailing addresses, table events, community events. We have already hosted 1 webinar, 1 in-person event, and 1 meeting in an initial focus area as we work on simplifying our messaging and focusing on small group meetings in these areas.